Tanzania, how was the election and was it free and fair from your perspective?
Hello there. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to come to interview with you and share the credible information as it happens in Tanzania and especially in Zanzibar. You know, I'm based in Zanzibar and I would like to introduce my name properly. My name is Dhamir Ramadan Yakut, alternatively known as Dhamir Rams. And I was running for a parliamentary seat for ACT Wazalendo in Kikwajuni constituency in Zanzibar. The election started like 2 days ago. There was a pre-election, the Zanzibar Electoral Commission started with early votes that commenced on 27th of this month. That was 2 days ago. And this election was marred with violence, shootings, killing of innocent people because there was a lot of protest. Why there were protests? There were protests because it doesn't make any sense for the islands which have voters of less than 500,000 to hold election days in 2 consecutive days. It didn't make any sense. So what was supposed to be done was to follow the normal way of voting that had been done previously, like in 2005, 2010, and 2015. We did election in a single day and the results were announced thereafter. But because CCM party was planning to stay in power and they were planning to rig, and because they have already lost legitimacy to rule in Tanzania and especially in Zanzibar, they thought the only way to cling on to power was to step up a new system of voting, and that is allowing early votes so that the security forces, especially the military and paramilitary and the police and the army from the mainland, should go to the polling station and start to vote. So that was really happening in the past 2 days. So yesterday we went to the normal voting procedure, and actually the same people who voted 2 days ago were allowed to go and vote again. So they voted twice. And what was really happening yesterday, as I was in the field work, I was supervising all the polling stations on my constituents. And I'm going to give you like a sample because this is what happened in all Tanzanian constituency. Opposition agents from the polling stations were frequently harassed and removed. Most of them were not given the identity to identify themselves as opposition agents. So before the voting started, they were unable to get inside the polling stations where there were ballots of early votes already inside. And the previous night before, they were not allowed to sleep with the ballot. So we know that there has been a fake votes exchange that was done before the voting session of yesterday started. Okay, come again. Okay. So this harassment continued, and I was actually fighting with the officials, with the voting officials, stations officials, all throughout the day to reinstate my agents. And out of about 15 agents who were kicked out for no reason, only three were reinstated.
Wow.
And during all this time, the voting was continuing, and I was giving information like the members of ruling party were given between 5 to 10 ballots per person to cast their vote inside the ballots without our agent's supervision. So that was really what was happening here. And the result, of course, will speak by itself, because right now we are being told, like in Zanzibar, we have 50 constituencies, and CCM are planning to take about 43 out of 50 constituencies. Wow. So they will only give our party 7 constituencies if they will be willing to give, because that is not guaranteed. Remember, they have already planned about this,
Ramadan,
so they will do whatever they want.
okay, Ramadan, if you can hear me, I want to know, how did Wazalendo play with regards to the state machinery and money? Was intimidation and election financing key of the tools that were used?
That's a very good question. Actually, prior to campaign and everything else, they enacted some statutory acts to restrict the opposition party from accessing the funds.
Wow.
Even people who were sponsoring the opposition were afraid to contribute, because these acts were enacted in a way that it exposed the person who contributes to the party. So we were going into the election with no funds whatsoever. Some of us have used our own savings to the point of no return. I'm telling you, like right now, I'm broke because I used all my savings for the campaigns and everything else.
Oh dear.
So there was a restriction, and you have to name the person who is contributing more than 1 million shilling. And of course, before that, before they enacted this kind of statutory regulations and laws, people were willing to contribute. But right now, we went into election with very low budget, very stringent budget. We were using our own savings, and no one was willing to contribute because they fear that if they contribute, their business will be vandalized. This is what has been happening in the past 5 years under Magufuli regime. People who were supporting opposition were harassed, their business were shut down, they were vandalized, and some of them were taken to court, and some of them were jailed. They were given false charges. I mean, a lot of things have happened in between. So people were really scared of contributing to opposition to be able to run the campaign effectively with finance.
Okay, Ramadan, what do you make of the populace, the electorates, when you're on the ground and you're vying for their vote and canvassing for their support in one way or the other? What do you make of them? Are they really agitating for a new regime that is a pro-Wazalendo? Or on the other side, are they just tired of the entire system?
No, actually, like I told you, CCM here has lost the legitimacy in Tanzania. It has lost legitimacy because if you have a statistical popular vote throughout the country, you may see that opposition are always leading CCM by more than 77%. So it means that CCM have less than 33%, and this is how the people are feeling about the ruling party. It has lost legitimacy to run the country. That's why they're using so much power, including military, to assert themselves into power. That is what is happening. So the general perception of how things are going here is that opposition parties of ACT Wazalendo and Chadema are the one who people are counting on to bring the change. But like I told you, right now we have a lot of our leaders, opposition leaders, who have been arrested, and they are still seeking others to get arrested. Like right now, I'm talking from my house, but I don't know at what time my door is going to get knocked, and I'm going to be called up by the police, because I've been told like I'm one of the person who is wanted right now.
Okay.
So yeah,
Ramadan,
talking right now, but anytime I might have my door getting knocked outside.
Just right about there,
anyway,
before the police knocks on your door, Ramadan, before the police knocks on your door, please indulge me about the media play. How has the media been, you know, at the center stage of this? Has the media played its role? Has it amplified what's happening on the ground? Or are they in the same fear that you have?
Actually, the media is pretty much censored. Like right now, they are controlling the media, and they choose what they want you to give out to the mass.
Okay.
So you have to be careful. If you're the owner of the media, you really have to be careful about what you are going to give out to the mass. As we are speaking right now, the internet is censored. There's no internet throughout the country. Right now, we are using a VPN-controlled internet connection, and that's why you guys are lucky enough to hear me, and we can talk like this because I'm a bit more knowledgeable about how to bypass this internet restrictions throughout the country. So I am one of the guys who have been able to access the internet without any kind of restrictions, because I'm using a special program that is called VPN on my phone to access the internet connection. Otherwise, other people have no internet whatsoever. And like I told you, the media is under huge restrictions. So you have to be careful about what you're going to say or what you're going to publish to the people.
Has this
If
only just started,
do
the media, has
anything,
it just started to behave this way during the elections, or it is something that has been,
no,
happening
this one,
under the
actually,
cover?
this one started about 2 years ago, because in 2018, they enacted an unconstitutional act, unconstitutional media act in the parliament to restrict the media. And I can tell you, like, scores of media channels have been banned because they have been deemed to have broken the rules. So we have very few media who are complying with the rulers, and those are the only ones that people can count on. And like I told you, when you have this kind of restriction to the freedom of expression, especially with the media, then you don't stand a chance of giving out a fair information or a credible information, because you only have to give information that the ruler wants to hear or the ruler wants to see.
Wow. Well, I'm praying for you that everything goes safe and sound as and when they're going to announce the ones who have won. We are praying for you. We are believing in the best for you on that side. Thank you so much, Ramadan. And we'll send a great greeting to the people in Zanzibar and in Tanzania at large.
Yeah, you know what? I'm praying for the lost lives that happened 2 days ago, because about 11 people were shot dead in Pemba by the military from the Tanganyika, from the mainland Tanzania.
Wow.
And yesterday, a couple of people were shot dead in Zanzibar, around Zanzibar, especially in Bububu and Mtoni.
Who shot them?
So I'm praying for these people, because the killings have been happening. And right now, we are living as though we are under military curfew or military rule.
Okay.
So yes, you guys, thank you for your prayers, and I hope this will end soon and will come to normalcy. But I don't see a bright future for this country, because people are really agitated, people are really upset, and people are vying for revenge. So we are going to go through a spell of violence. That is what is going to come next. I can assure you of that.
We hope to talk to you, Ramadan, after the announcement of whoever will win. That is, if the police doesn't knock on your door. But if you're still there, hang in there. We'll actually tap on you a little later and to get to know more what is happening in Zanzibar, Tanzania. That is my colleague, Shamil Ramadan. He was vying for position in Zanzibar in the current election that happened yesterday in Tanzania. Tanzania is undergoing an election season, and we hope to hear from the Electoral Commission what entirely happened. Now, earlier on, my colleague Stephen Mbidi